We've actually been back and forth in weeks past. So at this point, we're just miles apart with visitation. So we do need a hearing, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor. We're here for temporary orders, and we've sent proposals back and forth, and I think like out of 10 things, we have agreed to two of them. And so we do need, my client would like to make some requests, and she would like to testify.
All right. Well, you're the first contested matter, but let me see if I can get you to a good place and see if I can cut through some of the testimony with facts that should not be in dispute. You were the petitioner, Mr. Pena. How many children before the court?
Actually, Your Honor, I'm the petitioner.
No, Mr. Del Rio's client is the petitioner.
Petition to modify. You're absolutely right. They're inverted because at the initial setting, at the initial filing, you were the respondent. You're now the petitioner asking for modification. Well taken, Mr. Del Rio. How many children before the court?
It's two children, Your Honor.
Their ages?
Age 4 and 2.
Their genders?
Male, 4 years old. Female, 2 years old.
Mr. Pena, true?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Del Rio, with whom do these children primarily reside?
With mother, Your Honor.
Mr. Pena, true?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Del Rio, does the 4-year-old or either or both attend any educational institutions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pena, true?
My understanding is that the older child is being enrolled in school in Washington State, and I encourage my client, Raylene Hernandez, to correct me if I'm wrong.
Ms. Hernandez, does your 4-year-old attend any educational facility?
He will be starting on Monday.
So not now, very soon. Understood.
Yes.
These children reside with Mr. Pena's client, Ms. Hernandez. Ostensibly, without knowing anything else, the court would institute a standard possession order with modifications for the 2-year-old until that child turns 3. Mr. Del Rio, this is your request. What information, evidence, and testimony do you intend to show the court to do otherwise?
We would agree with that, Your Honor. The issue is that mother has been bouncing back from Laredo to Washington State, where the children are now. My client has not had possession of the children since December 12th and missing his holiday visitation.
My client has moved to Washington State. That's correct.
So the request, let me just finish with Mr. Del Rio so that I can get the full, and these things, if at some point there's a disagreement as to the facts, I'll stop and then we'll start the hearing. But so it sounds like, Mr. Del Rio, if you're not requesting anything other than, so you're not here to prove anything other than standard possession, then is the dispute makeup time, or what is the dispute?
The dispute is essentially
What is it you're asking that Mr. Pena doesn't agree with?
well, basically how the cost to get the children from Washington State to here is going to be paid by. That's one. They're requesting that it's split. We're requesting she exclusively cover that cost. And then the frequency of the visits is in dispute. Their last proposal was 4 days. We had said once, 1 month on, 1 month off, temporarily to help mom with the cost. That had been sort of the visitation period prior to filing this suit. And that's frequency and cost of transportation of the children are the big issues, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Pena, Mr. Del Rio says no issues with a standard possession order for persons that live 100 miles apart. What is at issue is how much time and the cost. True or not true?
Well, Your Honor, I'm not 100% certain of that. Let me just be very clear about this. I believe that once my client moved, we would be falling into the part of the order that says parents who reside 100 or more miles apart. And I'm not sure that Mr. Del Rio and I even agree that that's the applicable portion. But if it is, then we already have a standard visitation schedule in place for parents who reside more than 100 miles apart. And he is correct that in that situation, we would really only be arguing today. I think we're only really arguing about burdens and costs.
Well, in that scenario, applying the standard possession order, the testimony will hinge on your client's affirmation as to her residence. Mr. Pena, when placed under oath and asked the question, where does your client reside?
She will testify under oath that she and the two children reside in Washington State. Forgive me, I do not recall the name of the specific city.
That's fine. No dispute thus far, Mr. Del Rio?
We would challenge that given that she does still have residence here in Texas. She has an apartment and she has not exclusively resided in Washington State. It's been a 1 month on, 1 month off sort of visits. She's been back and forth between the two. So I don't believe, and she's also or my client would also testify that she's told him she intends to move to San Antonio at some point. So we don't believe Washington is her permanent residence right now.
Mr. Pena, is Mr. Del Rio going to be able to show these things by evidence and testimony to the court?
No, we disagree, Your Honor. My client is going to testify that her intention is to permanently live in Washington State. Now, Mr. Del Rio is correct in the sense that my client has come back to Laredo, but she's only come back to Laredo for purposes of affording the father visitation. And she stays here while the father is visiting with the child. And then after the visitations, they go back to Washington State. So in one sense, what Mr. Del Rio is saying is accurate, but I don't think the spirit in which he is saying it is correct.
Yeah, I can see how the court's going to have to make a determination as to residence and then apply the specific statutory provisions of the family code that applies to these folks in their situation. All right.
That's correct, Your Honor. That's correct.
Right.
We're probably going to need a hearing, and my client would like to testify.
Sure. We'll put your client on momentarily. All right, stand by.
Okay.
Both parties are.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was going to begin with Ms. Hernandez regarding the issue of residence, Judge.
Ms. Hernandez, you're under oath. The lawyers are going to ask you some questions. If you hear them object, pause your answer. If you don't know the answer, you need to say that because you're under oath. You need to be honest. Mr. Del Rio, you may proceed.
Thank you. Ms. Hernandez, it's true that beginning in June, you had removed the children from Texas and they were staying with you in Washington State. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you would leave for a month, return with them for a month. Is that also correct?
Sometimes.
Was it that you would sometimes stay 2 months away and come back for 1 month?
Yes, but I would take the kids. I didn't stay in Laredo for a whole month at a time, no.
Okay, but the children would be there in Laredo for a month with Mr. Maldonado, correct?
Only because it was his summer visitation. According to our plan,
Okay, but
that's why they would be there for that long.
okay, but he also had them for the month of August, correct?
Yes, because that's what we agreed on.
Okay,
As-
and
As part of the summer.
then you, after August, he had them for the entire month of August, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you were staying in Laredo that entire month yourself?
No.
Okay. And you then took the children back from him on September until November 24th. Is that correct? End
Yeah.
of September to November 24th?
Yes.
And then Mr. Hernandez had them on November 24th until the beginning of or mid-December, correct?
Their father had him during Thanksgiving break, and then
Okay.
kept my daughter a little bit longer.
Now, you still had a home in Laredo, correct?
An apartment? Yes.
Okay. And you're still paying rent on that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you live in Washington State?
In Des Moines, my address is 27046 10th Avenue South.
Okay. And you own that residence?
No,
Is it a apartment or a home?
it's a home I rent.
Okay. Who do you rent with?
Like, who do I pay? Or
No, who do you live with in the home?
my boyfriend
Okay. And I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
and a cleaner.
A cleaner?
Yes.
Like a live-in housekeeper, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. And is your name on the lease agreement?
Yes.
Okay, and you could produce a copy of that?
Yes.
Okay. And how long is the lease for?
I believe it is until till April.
Okay. And how long is your lease for the Laredo apartment?
That lease was for 1 year. It started in 2021, and then moving on after that, it's just month to month.
And so you moved first, I guess, stayed in Washington back in June, is that correct?
Yes.
So June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So it's been 7 months that you have not terminated your lease here in Laredo, even though it's month to month.
Yes.
Okay. Have you registered to vote in Washington State?
No.
Do you have a bank account?
Yes.
Have you changed the account mailing address to your Washington State
Yeah.
residence? Okay. Do you have a vehicle?
I didn't hear that. What was the answer to the changing of the bank account?
Yes.
Okay. Do you already have a state ID?
I do not.
Okay. Do you have a vehicle?
No.
Okay. And I think Mr. Benny had mentioned that you are about to enroll your 4-year-old into a daycare program.
It's preschool. He just turned 4 in September, so he couldn't start preschool till he they told me that he could start Monday. There's a slot available now. So yes,
Is it a private school or public school?
a public school.
Are you aware that Monday is a national holiday and there are no schools on Monday? It's Martin Luther King Day.
No, they told me, as far as I know right now, Friday I'm supposed to go to meet with the teacher, and then they said school would start for him on Monday.
Okay, so you haven't.
Are you on your cell phone? Are you logged in through your cell phone?
No. Oh, meet
Are you on a computer or on a cell phone?
an iPad?
Do you have your notifications on your iPad?
I don't think so. I don't
Are
think
you
it's coming from.
are you getting constant notifications?
I don't think that's. I hear it. I don't think that's coming.
Mr. Del Rio, it's either your or Ms. Hernandez's device.
I'm not receiving any text, Judge, or anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, I hear that.
I-
Don't.
I don't think
And
it's
my phone is
Mr. Pena because they're on mute.
correct.
Court. All right. We'll proceed. Go ahead, Mr. Del Rio.
Okay, and then as far as the the home that you're renting, you said your name is on the lease agreement, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are any of the utilities under your name?
No.
Okay. And what was the reason to move to Washington State?
Better opportunities, work opportunities.
Okay. Isn't it true that last month you had told Mr. Maldonado that you plan to move back to Texas, specifically San Antonio, in the near future?
Yes.
Okay. And you haven't registered to vote. You don't have a vehicle. Do you have a vehicle in Texas?
No.
Okay. All right. And I will. And every time when you would conduct an exchange here in Laredo, the exchanges would occur at your apartment here in Laredo, Texas, correct?
Sometimes at my apartment, sometimes at their father's home.
And again, lastly, so you do plan to at some point return to San Antonio or move to San Antonio?
Sometime in the future, yes.
Okay. And now the reason you moved, isn't it true the reason you moved those because you could to work with your stay with your boyfriend?
Not necessarily. For work, like I mentioned.
Are you employed?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I clean Airbnbs.
You clean Airbnb
Cleaner, yes.
homes?
I'm sorry?
Okay. Like you clean the Airbnb homes?
Yes.
Okay. Did you work here in Texas?
I did at a restaurant.
What did you do here in Texas? At a restaurant.
Mhm.
So you moved to Washington State for better opportunities, but now you're cleaning Airbnb homes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I get paid more and I get to bring my children with me to work,
Okay.
thus avoiding like not having to pay childcare. So
All right. Moment. I will. Are your children? Your children are still enrolled under Texas health insurance. Are you aware of that?
no, they have Apple Health in Washington.
Yes. So you have not unenrolled your children from Texas Medicaid. You have not done that.
Their Medicaid had to be renewed, which I never renewed. I then applied in Washington for Medicaid. So they have Medicaid through the state of Washington.
But they also have it here in Texas as they're still charging my client for medical reimbursement.
Not that I'm aware of. Last that I knew, it was up for renewal, which I did not do. I applied here in the state of Washington. They go to the doctor here. They have a pediatrician here, a dentist.
And can you provide all that information?
Yes.
Okay. And when do you plan to return to Texas?
I don't have an exact timeline or time frame.
Okay. And is it true that my client has not seen his children since December 12th?
Correct.
Okay. And you were aware that this year he had his New Year's visitation, correct?
Correct.
And you did not bring the children back so he could exercise his New Year's visitation, correct?
Correct. He kept them longer for Thanksgiving break. So I don't see, he took his time then.
And let me ask you this. My client has never agreed with you dropping them off for 1 month and then you taking them for 2 months and then returning them for 1 month. Isn't that correct?
It was discussed. And
But my client did oppose it.
it was discussed, and that's what we followed for a few months. So
But again, my question is, did my client disagree with it, even though he went along with it?
Your Honor, he's asking her to read his client's mind, Your Honor. That's an improper question.
No, I'm asking if he either in text or verbally communicated to her he was not in agreement with this this visitation schedule.
could have
Overruled,
disagreed, but that's what he
overruled.
followed.
Ms. Hernandez, just answer the question. Go ahead.
Ultimately, I don't think that's considered disagreeing if that's what he like follows, right? Maybe not preferred for him, but that's
I'm gonna object to non-responsive, Your Honor. It's a simple, did he tell you at any point he did not agree to this? Yes or no?
Your Honor, they're creating an issue where none exists. Your Honor, she cooperated with him, and they're saying, while he was cooperating, wasn't he in disagreement? They're manufacturing an issue that doesn't exist. I object to this line of questioning.
Overruled. You're probably right, but that would have to mean that the court would assume that that is in fact the case, and I would rather not assume and just get the answer, get it on the record, whatever it is. Overruled, Ms. Hernandez. Answer the question and let's move on.
Did he disagree at some point? Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Cross-examination, Mr. Peña.
Yes, despite that disagreement, did he still go along with the agreement that was described? Are you there, Ms. Hernandez? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, did you hear the question?
Yes.
Okay, so he told you, I disagree, but what were his actions?
He disagreed, sure, but that's what he followed. That's what ultimately, that's what we agreed to do.
Is that what he did
Yes.
physically?
Yes.
And for how long did he do that physically?
Starting since, I think in August, every month up until now.
Okay, and did you agree to these things?
Yes.
And who did the traveling?
Me.
And who paid for the travel?
Me.
Okay. And did you cooperate to the best of your ability during those last 6 months of 2025?
Yes.
And he's now saying that is it your understanding that he's now trying to hold that cooperation against you?
Yes.
Okay, I see. Are you agreeing to follow the visitation order as the judge orders it?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that when there is a dispute like you all had on New Year's, that you need to follow whatever order the judge makes. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you asking the court to do with respect to visitation?
I would like to follow standard visitations for 100 miles apart, which is 1 weekend per month. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. And was there anything blocking you legally from leaving to go live with your boyfriend?
No.
Okay. And was there a geographical restriction keeping you in Webb County?
No, I have full geographical rights.
Okay, so as far as you know, you have every right in the world to live your life where you choose. Is that correct?
Correct.
And where do you choose to live your life right now?
In Washington State.
And where in Washington? What city?
Des Moines.
Okay. And do you have a home there?
Yes.
Do you have a bedroom?
Yes.
Do you have your own pillow there?
Yes.
Do you have your own blanket there?
Yes.
Do you have so then they keep on asking you why you have this place in Laredo. Why do you have this? I mean, if you're living in Washington State, why do you have this place in Laredo still?
For the kids, I know that they need to go visit their dad frequently. So it's in everybody's best interest to have that.
So that's an expense that you are that you are carrying
Yeah.
for the benefit of who? Of the kids?
Yes.
Okay. And you're paying for that.
Yes.
And do you feel that they're trying to hold that against you too?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking that the court order that both parents, that all parents be ordered not to speak bad about each other?
Yes.
And are you also asking for the right to get passports for the children?
Correct.
Okay. And you have just filed today. You filed your own motion to modify. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so, tell me how much you've spent on expenses during the last 6 months to accommodate the father of the child by bringing the child on the airplane and paying for rent at a place here in Ada. How much have you spent altogether, would you say, in the last 6 months to 2025?
Alone, rent alone would be around $6,500, maybe a little bit more. Flight travel and other expenses, maybe like another $6,000.
Okay, and how much has Mr. Maldonado offered to pay for that?
Nothing.
Okay, I see. And then you're also asking that the court order that you all communicate through an app called Our Family Wizard. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're also making other requests, but I think all those other requests can wait till final hearing. Do tell the court where you live and where you plan on living for the foreseeable planned future.
I currently live in Washington and I plan on staying in Washington.
And the residence that you by law have the right to choose for your children, where is that residence?
Washington.
And could please restate the address so that it's clear that that's where the children, where you choose as the residence of the children?
Yes, it is 27046 10th Avenue South in Des Moines, Washington.
Okay. So who decides where you live, you or Mr. Maldonado?
Me.
All right. Pass the witness.
That was
Mr.
for-
Hernandez, you have a your parents still have a home here in Laredo, correct?
Correct.
And you sometimes, when you're here in Laredo, stay at that residence, correct?
No. I visit.
No.
Do I stay there? No.
But you could stay there if you had to spend the night.
I mean, then not really, no. With the kids? No.
Well, by yourself when you're here in Laredo and Mr. Maldonado has the children. Isn't it true you stayed there before?
No.
Okay. And your testimony today is that you're maintaining a residence in Laredo to accommodate my client.
The kids.
How does having a residence here accommodate the kids when they're staying? You're bringing them here to Laredo to stay with their father at his residence.
If he works, so there's some days where he'll be like, okay, bring them Friday. If we land on Thursday, it's best for them to have a place that they know as opposed to a hotel or being back and forth who knows where.
And how much are you making in terms of money? Are you getting assistance for all these expenses from your boyfriend?
No.
Okay, so you're paying all this out of pocket.
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you been with this boyfriend?
For a year?
Okay, so you were with him for 6 months before you decided to move with him to Washington State.
Correct.
And he was the reason you chose Washington State, correct?
Well, work and yes.
He works up there as well, correct?
Mhm.
And he just get a job up there?
No, he's worked there.
Okay. And That'd be all, Your Honor.
Anything on
Just
recross?
very quickly, you are asking the court to order standardization for parents who reside 100 miles apart. Is that correct, Ms. Raylene Hernandez?
Yes.
And in fact, that is the present order that is already in effect. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you are just asking the court to follow the order that has existed since October 1st, 2024, correct?
Yes.
The same order that gave you the liberty to move with the children and choose that they live in Washington. Is that the order?
Yes.
Okay. And give me one moment. I think I'm done. One moment, please. That's it. That's all I have. I don't have any more further questions for Ms. Raylene Hernandez, Your Honor.
Right, let's say this one time. Mr. Maldonado, Ms. Hernandez, Mr. Del Rio, Mr. Peña, does anybody else, any other person would like to put anything else on the record?
I would just like to point out, Judge, that I think there's some misunderstanding. According to Texas Family Code 153.313, for parents to reside more than 100 miles apart, the option is for first, third, and fifth weekend or 1 weekend per month, Judge, at the election of the possessory conservator, which would be Mr. Maldonado.
Your
And so
Honor,
if they're
I'm sorry for interrupting.
just to clarify, but I guess I would like to just ask Mr. Maldonado, ask him briefly, if the visitation schedule that she articulated was correct, just so we can make sure I would just like to get him to confirm or deny that, for purposes of your consideration. If he says, yes, that's what her testimony, that was the visitation schedule that they've been having, then that's all I really would want to elicit at that point.
I'm not following, but Mr. Maldonado, if you understand, you can answer the question. There's no objection.
Yeah, so for the visitation that she ascertained to, can you repeat it?
Yep, it's okay then. Let me ask you this though. Are you still being charged medical support through the Attorney General's office, Mr. Maldonado?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And are you, would you ever make exchanges at her apartment her parents' house or any other place other than her Laredo house?
Yes, on the court order, I was supposed to surrender the kids to her, so I would surrender the kids at her apartment, and sometimes at her mother's house.
Okay. And if the court were to determine that she is residing in Washington State, are you electing for your first, third, and fifth weekend visits or 1 weekend per month that you're choosing?
I mean, I would love to have my kids as much as I can. I would love the first, third, and fifth weekends if it could work out. If not, that's the case. I mean, once a month, that'd be more than the time I even see them right now.
Okay. And were you asking for some makeup time, given that she would have them for 2 months and you would have them for 1 month?
Correct. So she would be in Washington for 2 months. She'd come down and I would have them for 1 month. So technically, I guess the days kind of even out. When it came to the holidays, I was supposed to get them on the Thanksgiving that they were dismissed from school, or they don't go to school, but technically that weekend, I didn't get them until the day of Thanksgiving. And so, which is why I wanted to stay with my kids for a while more. And I was supposed to get them on New Year's as well. And I didn't get to. Like, I have all their Christmas presents and all, and I haven't even been able to give it to them.
Okay. And how much are you currently paying child support?
In total, currently paying $1,060 a month.
And when was the last time you met with the attorney generals to confirm your child support payment?
This was in October
Of 2025 or 2024?
2025, October.
Okay, so you last confirmed your,
Yes, before that, I was put on child support on November 2024. And since I had an increase in my salary, we had an update on October 2025.
okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor. Mr. Penny, have any questions?
So Mr. Maldonado, you're saying that she would give you access to, that mother would give you access to the child for months at a time, even after she had left to Washington State. Is that correct?
Yes, after she left to Washington, it was she would be gone for 2 months. She'd come down, and I would stay with them for the month
Okay.
until the next following. It would continue as is.
Well, you know that you had an order in place, right?
Oh yeah, so these are terms that we agreed on
No,
because
hold on,
she
hold
did.
on, hold on, hold
ahead.
on. That wasn't the question. I asked you, do you know that there's an order in place?
Of course, as it was
Okay.
followed.
And you said you agreed with her. Is that correct?
From the day she said she was going to Washington, we came up with a mutual agreement on the visitation. That
And
would make up the days that I wasn't able to see my kids on the first, third, and fifth weekends.
Well, hold on. But you, have you seen your order for more than 100 miles apart?
Yes, I have. Residing, she specifically told me it was a long vacation for her, technically. So that's why we had a
But don't you
visitation that
agree
we
that,
agreed on.
don't you agree though that a person should get the right to decide where they live?
Absolutely. I mean, when this got signed with the geographical rights, as pertaining to my knowledge,
What geographical?
nobody,
There was no geographical restriction, was there?
or when the court order was signed,
You're upset because she left to go be with her boyfriend, aren't you? That's
Oh,
what all this is
no, no,
about,
no.
isn't it, Mr. Maldonado?
No, Mr. Pena. By all
Okay, all
means,
right. Well,
I
then,
live my life.
okay.
I
You
live my
want to
life,
visit
and
with the
she
kids
has
3
hers.
times a week, Mr.
And
Maldonado?
the
Mr. Maldonado, you
where
want to
I'm
visit with
coming
the kids 3
to,
times a week?
I would
Is
love
that what
to.
you want?
I would love to
Why haven't you
be with
offered to
them
pay
once a
for
month.
any of the
I'm
travel? Why
gonna
haven't you
start
offered to pay a
muting
penny
folks.
of the
Stop,
travel?
Mr. Pena, just stop. Mr. Maldonado, stop. So, Mr. Maldonado, stop. So here's the thing, folks. Number one, when persons speak at the same time, number one, I can't understand what's being said, so I can't make a decision. And number two, you're going to have an incomplete record. If I make a decision that someone disagrees with, the appellate court isn't going to have a good record because there's talking over each other. So let me ask Mr. Pena to ask a full question, pause and stop. Mr. Maldonado, then you can fully respond. Unless there's an objection, don't interrupt. Mr. Pena, go ahead.
You wanted to visit with your children the first, third, and fifth week of the month, even after my client left to Washington State. Is that correct?
Yes, I would love to. More time with my kids. It's what
No,
matters.
I'm sure you would like that, but how much did you offer to help with the expenses of all of these visits?
I didn't offer to pay anything for the travel expenses, as in, because I believe that she created the distance. And then above that, you know, when I had the kids for the month, I mean, I never complained about me still having to pay child support when they were with me the whole month.
Okay, but but you had them for a month because she agreed to that. Is that correct?
Absolutely, because it would save
And
her
you agreed to that too. Is that correct?
for the 2 months off and 1 month on. Yeah, I did. She
Okay.
said she was going to be there she gave me a schedule of when she would be visiting. She gave me a schedule starting from June to December, which was 6 months.
Didn't she give you more visitation than you were actually entitled to under the order?
I mean, if you think about it, I would stay with them for the month. That's 30 days. For the past 2 months, 3 days each, 369, about a little more than half a month.
She gave you more visitation than you were entitled to. Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, but I would be gone for
Okay.
2 months with them. So,
All
I mean,
right.
that's kind
And
of
she paid for all the expenses during those 6 months, correct?
for the travel expense, correct?
Okay. And so going into the future, are you offering to pay any expenses for travel?
At the moment, I don't believe I should be because, like I
Okay,
said,
how
I
often do you
wasn't
want to
the one
visit
creating
them?
the distance.
How often do you want to visit them?
As much as I can, whatever we agree on.
Well,
The
we're not
more, the more, the
agreeing. So
better.
I'm wondering because you want her to come down 3 times a month. Is that what you're asking the court for? Or do you want to
Yes,
put your
but
children on an airplane 3 times a month? Which one do you prefer?
I don't think that would be I think that would put them at a risk, flying, coming and going throughout the month, multiple
So how do you want
times.
to handle that then? What's your proposal?
I would love to see them as much as I can. If I can stay with them for the whole month, I would.
I'm sure you do, but I'm asking you, how do you want to handle the logistics of going and
Your
coming?
Honor, I'm going to object to that. That's not a decision that we can make, and that's why we're having this hearing. Those are matters that we can make an argument to Your Honor to propose. You know,
He's
whatever
playing
Your
games,
Honor.
Your Honor. He wants to create problems, but not a single solution, Your
Mr. Del
Honor.
Rio. Mr. Maldonado, it's a fair question. It's a possibility. That's what the court rules. So if you have an opinion, you should give it overruled. You may answer.
Absolutely. If I could see them for the first, third, and the fifth weekends of every month, I would love to.
And how are they going to are they going to be dropped off at your house?
I don't believe, since I didn't create the distance, I should be liable to be paying for the travel expenses.
So then you want the mother to pay for the travel expenses, the first, third, and fifth of the month. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And if it's not the
And you
first,
want
third,
your
and fifth,
children-
it's once a month.
And you want your children to travel on a plane 3 times a month. Is that correct? So they can come visit you?
Like if it's not going to be the 3 times a month, 1 time a month would be good.
Well, hold on. Which is it? I mean, what are you asking for? Because your lawyer says you're asking for 3 times a month. I'm just wondering who's going to pay for it.
Objection, Your Honor. Your Honor, objection. That's improper statements. I mean, that's what we're asking. We haven't asked for anything yet, Judge.
Sustain, rephrase.
So then, you want 3 weekends per month. Is that correct? First, third, and fifth.
I mean, financially, if it wouldn't be beneficial on Mrs. Hernandez's side, we can
What about the children,
definitely
though?
do once a month.
What about the children? You don't think it's a lot of burden on the children to be going back and forth like that? Would you agree that that's kind of a burden on them?
I mean, I don't see burden in them when I see them physically in person. I know that they missed out on a lot of activities. I was their baseball coach, and
That wasn't my question, Mr. Maldonado.
I don't see burden in them.
My question was, do you think that they should be getting on airplanes 6 times a month?
No.
Okay. And who's going to pay for all of these visits? Are you offering to pay for any of it? I just want to know, yes or no?
No.
Pass the witness.
Anything else, Mr. Del Rio?
Just briefly, since Mr. Benny asked you about what your request is, would you prefer to have the children for 1 month on and then allow them to return to mother for 1 month and repeat that process until we have final orders?
Absolutely.
Do you feel that visitation schedule would be less expensive for Ms. Hernandez to pay and less taxing on the children in terms of flight time?
I believe absolutely.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
I need to follow up real quickly. Are you asking for custody of the children? Are you asking to designate where they live?
Designating where they live with their mother. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for my visitation.
But you want to send them back and forth between you and mother, like a ping pong? Is that what you're talking about?
50-50
Objection,
custody
Your
is
Honor.
what it's
That's
called.
argumentative, Judge. Your Honor, he's
Okay.
arguing with the witness.
Sustained.
Pass the witness.
No further questions.
All right.
I don't have any witnesses, Your Honor. Maybe a bit of argument. It's Mr. Del Rio's motion, though, I think.
Well, just, I think we've covered the witnesses.
Anything to
Thank
close?
you, Judge. If I may proceed, Your Honor? Or?
You've got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. So, with regards to the residents, Your Honor, I don't think that the focus of that from the court should be the intent of the individual. I don't think she has any intent to stay there permanently, Judge. She still maintains a residence in Laredo that she's paying monthly for, which she could have terminated that lease months ago, 6 months ago to be exact. The idea of keeping that home and that expense for the benefit of the children just is illogical. It makes no sense since she admitted that she visits the parents. They have a home there. And my client testified that he's picked up the children from that home. As far as her testimony regarding the home in Washington, I believe she says it expires soon. We don't know if she's going to renew it. She told my client and admitted that she did at some point plan to move back to Texas and to San Antonio specifically. She hasn't registered to vote in that state. She still has, I don't think she said she had a license to that effect. I think it's prudent that she went ahead and got state health insurance. I do think that's smart, but I don't think that's dispositive of her establishing residence in Washington. Now, with regards to the visitation, Judge, I think we should keep something similar to what the parties had agreed to prior to filing the suit. She created the distance. Texas law and standard courts practice the understanding that if you create the distance, you can't ask the other party to make up financially for that cost. She's going to have to bear that, Judge, and we are asking that we bear that. But that in mind, because it is a long distance, I think the better thing for the children temporarily would to be 1 month on, 1 month off. This is something that it would be really untenable to do first, third, and fifth. I think we can all agree to that, despite what Mr. Pena was, trying to elicit from my client. I think that's obvious, and I just
2 minutes have expired. Last word. Anything else?
just, Your Honor, that we do go with the schedule of 1 month on, 1 month off, and that my client not be responsible for additional expenses of travel.
2 minutes, Mr. Pena. Go ahead.
First of all, it's kind of offensive to be told by the father of your child where you live. I think that that's kind of the height of arrogance. And then the other, it just doesn't feel very nice being told, oh no, I'll tell you where you live. And then the other thing, Your Honor, is that even if Mr. Del Rio's argument was 100% correct, and she didn't prove what she did, that she has established residence in Washington, it doesn't matter because physically we're still dealing with the same logistical problems. So this whole idea of, well, she doesn't really live there, that's a fraud. That argument really, when you follow it out to its logical conclusion, goes nowhere because it still doesn't solve the best interest of the child, which is how are we going to get them from point A to point B in the meantime. I think that my client is being criticized and punished for going out of her way to cooperate and give Mr. Maldonado much more visitation that he was entitled to, and she voluntarily paid for a lot of it herself. So we're asking the court to take that into consideration. That's all I've got.
Just reviewing some of your testimony, Mr. Maldonado and Mr. Hernandez. I was trying to remind myself, remember the timeline. All right, file number 2024 FLI 1859C3. The court at this time finds that it has continuing exclusive jurisdiction over the subject of this case, these two children. So in order for the court to make any decisions or orders, and these are just temporary, they're not meant to be final. I'm going to give you a final hearing date right now. You're both to come to court on March 31st at 2 p.m. Based on the evidence and testimony you present on that day, things are going to change, very likely to change. But these are the temporary orders that you'll be working under between now and then. So the question that the court first needs to answer is the question on residency. And the only thing that the court has that to use as a guiding principle, as it were, when a person, a parent in this situation, moves to another location, another jurisdiction, the more common occurrence that happens in Webb County, much more common than something like this, is seasonal migrant work. And the court is much more familiar with those type of situations. And in those type of situations, if somebody moves to another jurisdiction, it's just meant to be seasonal or temporary. That's not what's going on in this case, although there's some parallels and similarities. The question is then, where does Ms. Hernandez reside? The facts and testimony presented to the court today is that this court has continuing exclusive jurisdiction, one. Two, the residences, all the places that Ms. Hernandez lives, the longest standing one is in Laredo. The Washington move is more recent, but what was instructive to the court is that there is a situation that's very likely to happen at some point, who knows when, in the near future, for Ms. Hernandez to move to San Antonio, meaning the court can infer and now find that the move to Washington isn't meant to be permanent. Rather, the permanent residence is in Laredo. So these are the temporary orders based on that. And before I give the ruling, Ms. Hernandez, I need to let you know that this court, nor any court, can determine where you live. You have rights and duties, civil rights, and you can live wherever you want. The thing is that the court does have the authority to determine the possession schedule of your children, which is something totally different. This court doesn't want to place a burden on either or both parents between now and March the 31st. So this is what the court is going to order. There's 7 weekends between now and the date of the final hearing. Based on what's happened, there should be, one second, let me just take judicial notice, an actual notice of the calendar before I. There's 7 weekends between now. This is between now and spring break. All right. Between now and spring break, Mr. Maldonado, you will have the right to visit with your children once over a 4-long-day weekend. You can choose those dates, 4 days, and it could be either Friday to Monday or Thursday through Sunday. You can choose the weekend, the long weekend, and you can choose the airport. And there's a chance that Laredo is the best situated place, the largest airport closest to Laredo is San Antonio. If you choose San Antonio, then you're responsible for driving to San Antonio and then picking them up there. You're responsible for the flights. And Ms. Hernandez, you need to be on those flights. Then you'll begin a longer period of possession from March the 9th. And by the way, these children, I know flights, these children should not be flying before 8 a.m. So if there's a 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. flight, don't choose that for these kids. Do something after 8, preferably before 9 p.m. too. Then you'll begin a longer period of visitation on March the 9th. And you're responsible for those flights, Ms. Hernandez. And you also have the choice of flying to Laredo or flying to San Antonio. If you fly to San Antonio and you choose that, then everybody's responsible for their own travel from Laredo to San Antonio. And then the kids will be here in Laredo on March the 31st when the court holds its final hearing. One more point of to note for the court that if it were in fact the case, as one more point of consideration for the court, and that's why I was trying to review my notes to get a hold of the timeline. There is a chance, and specific dates weren't mentioned. I have just general months, but there is a chance that if in fact Ms. Hernandez resided in another jurisdiction, then a motion to transfer would have been filed. It wasn't, so I have to presume and assume that it is the court of continuing jurisdiction. So for all of these reasons, I find that their residence is here until further evidence, testimony, and orders for the court. All right, we'll come back on March the 31st at 2 p.m. Mr. Maldonado, that was a lot to digest. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Hernandez, a lot to think about. Any questions for the court?
No. The only thing is that I think he stated that the kids have been with him for a whole month at a time. It's been about, I believe, 2 to 3 weeks at most. And at the end of those 3 weeks, our youngest daughter, she's 2 years old. She seems to be very different. You know, she like attachment issues to me. And I just think that a child that young shouldn't go, you know, away for that from a parent.
So I recall that was the testimony, which is why this court did not do 4 weeks. This court did 3 weeks, which is consistent to the pattern of behavior that both you and Mr. Maldonado have agreed to in any event. I didn't do more than what you were already doing.
Okay.
All right.
For some reason, I thought you said 30 or 31. Okay.
March 31st is when you'll come back. But
Yeah,
from the 9th to the 31st, that gives the 3 weeks that you had been accustomed to in any event.
Yeah, okay.
And in any event, both you and Mr. Maldonado will have daily video conferencing abilities with both of your children at 7 p.m. or the very next available time. And I don't mean 7 p.m. or then 7 a.m. the next day, or 7 p.m. or 7:05 for an amount of time that is reasonable. Children that age have smaller attention spans than others, so keep that in mind. A lot to contemplate. Mr. Del Rio, thoughts, comments, or objections? Go ahead.
If I could just get that order stated one more time, Judge. I was a little confused at how you wanted it to play out, Judge. I think if you could state it one more time so that we don't have any issues when we're drafting the order.
So between now and March the 9th, there's to be one long weekend, 4 days. It's Mr. Maldonado's election of the weekend. Ms. Hernandez will be responsible. Excuse me. No, Mr. Maldonado's, he's making the choice, and he's going to have to look for flights and all these things, but Ms. Hernandez really needs to be on that flight. So ostensibly Friday through Monday or Thursday through Sunday or any other dates that are agreeable. And I'm assuming that it's not scheduled, but it's airline prices that may weigh in on the parties. But a 4-day long weekend, and then they'll go back.
And who would pay? Who pays that flight? And for the children, or
Also for the mother, that's the question.
What did the court say? The court said that it's Mr. Maldonado's election, so he needs to pay. But then coming back on the 9th, it's Ms. Hernandez. And that's only one flight.
and
Awesome.
he's paying for. I guess I wanted to clarify. He's paying only for the flight of the children, or he has to pay for mother as well.
No, only for the children.
Okay, so father. And then going back, she pays for the return trip.
No, it's his election,
No.
and he gets to he has to foot that full bill for that one extended weekend.
Okay, for the children. Okay. And then it reverses when it's her period of time. She elects, she pays.
But she's not electing. I'm saying it should be the start of spring break, March the 9th. All she has to do is deliver them to Mr. Maldonado, either in San Antonio or Laredo, whatever airport and flights are most available. And then they're coming back on March 31st for their final hearing. So then the court will make additional orders at that time.
Okay.
Residency
So for,
here in
question?
Laredo. Yes, sir.
sorry, Your Honor. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Question. Who, and it sounds like a silly question, I realize that, but between March 9th and March 31st, the day of the next hearing, who are you envisioning has the children?
Mr. Maldonado.
Got it. Okay, understood. I just didn't understand that one part.
That was
Right, I was
exactly Ms. Hernandez's question. She did not want more than 3 weeks. That is exactly 3 weeks. So, all right.
Got it. Understood. That's clear now. We can, I think the rest of it can be argued at the final hearing.
All right. Anything
Okay.
else from any person? All right.
I just, okay, so just that Mr. Peña threw me off. So, my client will elect one weekend between now and March 9th, for a 4-day weekend. He will pay for the children's flights going and returning. So he'll elect the airport, and then when they'll come back to Laredo on March 9th.
That is Ms. Hernandez's portion.
Okay. And then they'll stay here in Laredo
Is
until,
responsible for 2 flights. She is responsible for 1.
okay, so when she'll fly them down, and then they'll stay till the 31st, and that's when they'll be with my client from March 9th to the 31st.
Correct. And she'll fly them down
Okay.
to the airport of her
Of her
election.
choosing.
And I'm just saying airport, but y'all can fly. I mean, y'all can drive. I mean, there's that, but just it's still 4 days.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay, all right, just, thank you.
Anything else from any person? All right, Mr. Maldonado.
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
Mr. Maldonado, Ms. Hernandez, I wish you both well. More importantly, I wish your children all the best. We'll see you very soon. Good luck to all.
Thank you.
Mr. Del
Thank you,
Rio,
Judge.
Mr. Peña, it's always good to see you. Have a great 2026.
Thank you, Judge. You too.